Hi everyone, I'm Chef Stacy and we're here today at Journey Christian Church where we get to share cooking with you. We want food to be a part of your faith journey. Right now, Pastor John, if you attend here at Journey, he's doing a series called Defining Moments. Sometimes the defining moment is when we look in the mirror. Sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. But what we put in our mouths can definitely be a defining moment on how we treat our bodies. So today, I've got two recipes for you, both with a little healthy twist on them. They've got a little bit of an Italian theme, so we're gonna do some lasagna cups and we're gonna do a watermelon pizza. Oh, sounds so good. And the best part of all is, it's a lot less calories than what you would probably do at home. So join me today as we cook something really healthy, really fun, and your family will love it. Let's get started. All righty. If you don't have the recipe, we gave out the recipes here at church to some of our teams, but if you don't have the recipe, put a little note in the chat box and we'll be sure to send it to you. But follow along with me. We're gonna start here. I've got a little setup in front of me so I don't have to turn around and cook behind me. Make sure I've got some heat going here. You can get these little sternos from camping stores, or I think even Walmart has some little versions of these, but I get these from a restaurant supply store. We live in Florida, so we have hurricanes here. These are great in a hurricane if your power goes out. I'm gonna add a little olive oil to the pan. Let that get warm. Let that warm up there. First, we're gonna add some garlic. If you know me at all, I love garlic. Not too many recipes that I cook don't have garlic in it, so we're gonna add some garlic there. All righty, let's get this heat going so we can hear some sizzling happen. While that's warming up there, we're gonna start off with an onion. I've already got the skin off of it, but I wanna show you a really neat way that I learned. I learned this in culinary school on how to cut onions. So can you see this, Mark? I've already got the peel on it. I'm doing some slices in the onion, going all the way through. Now, listen to that. We're starting to hear some sizzle. I'm making some cuts that way. I'm gonna turn my onion, make some cuts going down the other way. Now watch this. Squeeze your onion tight. Instant diced onion. Instant diced onions. Quick way to dice onions. All righty, and if you don't want to use all of the onion, you just put the rest in the fridge and then it's already diced for the next time you want to use it. I love easy stuff. All righty, let's get this all in the pan here. You can smell that garlic kind of simmering already. Let's get these going, get these caramelizing a little bit. As I said earlier, we're making a little lasagna recipe today, and everybody has their own version of lasagna. So this one might be similar to what you do, it might be a little different, but it's a fun way, and what I love about it, the serving sizes are pre-portioned. While that's in there, I'm gonna turn around and get some meat out of the oven, out of the fridge. I'm using a Greenwise chicken Italian sausage. And they come with the casings on them. But what I'm gonna do is cut the casing off. And look at that, it just slides right out of there. I like to use chicken Italian sausage instead of using beef all the time. I know lasagna is mostly made with beef. But again, we're doing it with a little twist. Just take your scissors and just cut that casing right off of there. Now, I have a garbage can behind me. I am not throwing this on the floor. Let me wipe my hand there. I've got a little meat potato masher. And this is we're just gonna break up the crumbles. Just let that cook and sizzle. The onions and the garlic are mixing together. It's already smelling good in here. Your kids are gonna be coming into the kitchen wondering what you're doing. Just keep breaking that up. I use potato mashers for lots of stuff. All righty. Now your recipe calls for a 1/4 cup of tomato paste. What I always do is I never measure it. I always use the whole can, because if I use a 1/4 cup and then I have this much left, what am I gonna save it for? I'm gonna put it in the fridge. I'm never gonna use it again. So I'm just gonna throw in the whole can. Plus, it makes your sauce really thick and we're not wasting anything. Because if you ever end up with a million little containers in your fridge over a few leftover things, you don't need that. Throwing that in the trash. All right, we're gonna get this all mashed together. This is just like making your own little pasta sauce too, your own little pasta meat sauce. And the great thing about it is if we don't use it all, put the rest in the freezer and you're a step ahead on your next meal. All righty, next we're going to add some crushed tomatoes. Now this is the 28-ounce can. Now it's gonna start looking like sauce. It's gonna start thickening with the tomato paste. All righty. Now we get to add the good stuff, all the seasonings. I've got some basil. I love basil. And I've got some fresh basil. This came from our garden outside in the back of the church. Got some basil. We've got oregano. If you want to throw in Italian seasoning, throw in Italian seasoning. I'm adding some garlic powder. Like I said, I told you, I love garlic. If you don't like garlic, you don't have to use as much. Alrighty, let's give this all a nice stir. Now, while this is simmering, we're gonna make the ricotta filling. And everyone always asks me, what is ricotta? Ricotta, and I have a friend, she says it's actually pronounced ricotta. But I'm so used to saying ricotta, I say ricotta. That's how I heard my mother say it. So we're gonna use some ricotta, and ricotta is an Italian cheese. Some people think it looks really similar to cottage cheese, but it's a lot finer in its grain. Cottage cheese is a little lumpier, and it has the curds in it. But if you ever even wanted to lower your calories even more, you could switch out and use cottage cheese. I've done that before too. People will never know. So I've got some ricotta in here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some parmesan. We're gonna add some cheese to it. Now you don't need to add a lot of salt to this recipe because you're using parmesan, and parmesan is a little bit of a salty cheese. So we're gonna add some parmesan to that. We're gonna add the mozzarella. Gotta have the mozzarella if you're making lasagna. That makes it all ooze and stick together. All righty. We're gonna put just a pinch of salt, not too much. Again, because we're using that parmesan, and that has a nice salt base in it. A little pepper, a little fresh cracked pepper in there. All righty. And if you can see, I'm almost making like a cheesy paste. See how that's coming together? All righty, let's look at our sauce here. Now you could let this simmer for a while and let all the ingredients just kind of meld. I'm gonna turn my heat off. Ideally, when you're making this at home, you want your meat sauce just to cool down just a little bit before you assemble so it's not too hot to the touch. It's not melting all your cheeses right out of the way. But we're gonna go ahead and assemble this now. One of the tricks that's making this different is we're gonna use wonton wrappers. So I've got a little 6-pan muffin pan here. Wonton wrappers, I don't know if you've ever seen a package like this in the grocery store. They are super low in calories. I was reading that they're only about 23 calories a wonton. This package says you can have 3 for 50 calories. Now, I don't know if you've checked the calories on your pasta boxes lately, but one little strand, one little noodle of pasta can run you 90 calories to 166, depending on what brand you buy. So this, again, is a lower calorie way to do something neat with a nice comfort food. This is a little bit of a non-stick cookie pan, muffin pan, but I'm gonna spray it. I wanna make sure that when my cheese oozes, that nothing sticks. We're gonna layer it just like you would layer pasta. Let me get me a stack of my wontons out here. And we're gonna just slide them down. Let me show you this. Slide it down in the cup there. All right. And you can make this 2 or 3 high, just depending on how hearty you want your little serving to be. You're putting that in there, kind of pressing them up against the sides, and then the cooking spray kind of helps it stick to the sides too, because you want it to come up to the side because you want to create like a little pocket for all your little of our meat sauce and our ricotta. All righty, can you see that there? Got that in there. Now we're gonna take a little bit of this meat sauce, dip that down in there. Just wanna make sure you cover the bottom. This is kind of a fun thing to do with your kids too. They might enjoy assembling these. All righty. Next, that little ricotta and parmesan and mozzarella paste that we made. Just want to press that in there. So that's your cheesy layer that's going to make everything stick together. And again, we're portion controlling. I'm the one that can't sit with a bag of chips. I got to buy the individual bags. Otherwise, I'll eat the whole bag. So I love things that are portion controlled for me. All righty, can you see that first layer in there? Now, when we do the second layer, I want you to take notice to where the points came up, and we're gonna rotate. So this point is right here, so I'm gonna point this one here, and I'm gonna press it in there. So we're creating our layers. We're gonna add another little tablespoon of some meat and cheese, and just keep rotating them as you go up. Press that in there. And wontons are really cheap too. They're not expensive. I've had people ask me before, can you substitute an egg roll wrapper? You could. They're pretty much made out of the same ingredients, but egg roll wrappers are bigger. They wouldn't fit in this size pan, but you could. If you had a pinch, you could take a pizza cutter and cut up some egg roll wrappers, especially if you can't find them in the store. I normally find the wonton wrappers in the produce department of the store. They're normally over by the tofu and that area. All righty, can you see that? We're ready for our second layer. This smells so good, you can eat this right out of the pan. That little chicken Italian sausage and onion and tomato and all those Italian herbs. And what I love most about this is quick. If you see how fast I'm making this, you can do the same. No one wants to spend a few hours in the kitchen boiling pasta. Not me. The invention of no-bake pasta was one of my favorite inventions. I love the no-boil pastas. All righty, got another little layer there. And you don't have to worry about if you put too much or too less. There's no real wrong answers with this. You just go with it. I'm gonna put a little bit more on that one. All right, here's our last layer. And again, I'm gonna rotate. The point is here, so I'm gonna change it so that the point is there. We're just kind of squeezing that down together. My daughter just got her first apartment, so pasta has become her favorite meal to eat. It's because it's inexpensive. All righty, one more. All righty, let's just top it off there. Now imagine eating this with a salad and the watermelon pizza we're gonna make. And see all this left? That's going in the freezer for our next time we make this, or next time you wanna make a dish that you need some red sauce. We don't waste anything. All righty, are you ready? Now I'm gonna just add just a little mozzarella over the top. We want it to just melt down over the top. You're gonna put your oven at 375. And this only takes 20 minutes to bake. Just a little parmesan, and when it comes out of the oven, we're gonna add just a little fresh basil over the top. A little crushed red bell pepper, crushed red pepper. How does that look? You think you can make that? This is gonna be so delicious. All righty, I'm gonna put this in the oven behind me. All right, let me rinse my hand off. Now, while that is in the oven, we're gonna make dessert. My favorite part of the meal. Now, you have this with a little salad, like I said, but dessert is always in order. And this is dessert that your kids will line up for, trust me. It's a watermelon pizza. Now, I know I'm calling it pizza, but you can buy a whole watermelon, slice it right down the middle so that you get that little nice pizza wedge. But I cheated. I'm gonna show you what I did. Again, I like easy stuff. So, I bought it already sliced. I'm smart like that. Now, this is called watermelon pizza, but you could assemble all the pieces. I got another watermelon here that yesterday when I was in the store, watermelons are in season in May to September, so now is the time to start buying your watermelons. But this one was already cut, so if you don't want to do the whole watermelon, that one you'll just slice it right down the side like I did, and you get these perfect little slices. I do like a little bit of a thicker slice on it because you want people to pick it up and eat it like this. If it's too thin, then everything starts falling off of it. What I do to make this fun is I like to make it look just a little bit fancy. So I'm taking some Greek yogurt. I like Greek yogurt because it's a little packed with a little extra protein, and it's a little bit thicker than regular yogurt. So you can take it and you can just slather it on, but I'm gonna pipe it, make it look just a little bit fancy. I've got a little pastry bag and a star tip. If you don't have one, you can use a Ziploc bag. Is always a good cheat for a pastry bag. Or like I said, just take this and slather it on. But we're going for a little extra touch this time. Uh-oh, it's oozing out. Now, if you noticed, what makes it easy to fill the bag is I used a cup. When you put it in the cup, then your pastry bag stands up. Now watch this. How pretty is that? And you can let your kids decorate this with any fruits that you buy. Right now, I've got a little fresh strawberries, some blueberries and raspberries. You can use cherries, you can use pomegranate seeds, whatever your favorite fruit is. So now you get to decorate, and your kids will have fun doing this. You're getting all these antioxidants. Watermelon is 90% water, so you're getting hydrated. The last few months, we've been talking about good mood foods, foods that give your body a lift. Water is so important for your body to hydrate you. And by doing it this way, you're getting water, you're getting antioxidants, you're getting all these fresh fruits. Your kids will have a blast making this. It will make you look fancy at a party. You can have this for brunch or breakfast. All righty, a few blueberries to top it off. Look how colorful that looks. Memorial Day is coming up. You might want to do something a little patriotic looking. All righty, and the last little thing we're gonna do is give it a drizzle. Just a little honey drizzle. Just give it a little, just a very thin drizzle to give it some sweetness. All righty. I've got some people behind the scenes here who are leaning back behind the camera. They are dying to try this. Got some plates here. Can you see this? How easy is that to make for your family? That took 2 minutes. All righty. See if I can get a piece out here. I'm gonna pass this around. What I love about this is that, I'm gonna bite right off of this one. You get the little drizzle of honey, gives you a little sweetness. You've got the little bit of tart and thickness from the Greek yogurt. You've got the blueberries, you've got all the fresh fruit, you're getting the hydration from water. This is a total win, a total good mood food. You get to eat it just like a pizza, Jill. How fun for this for summer to do. That is so good. Now, the little lasagna cups that we were making, they're in the oven, but you know I have some made already for you. We're gonna take those out. After you take them out of the oven, you really want them to sit for a few minutes. Look at these, all nice and crispy out of the oven. Oh, the cheese is melted on the top of them. Now, if you want to even take some fresh basil leaves, add a little nice flavor to it. We have this Bible study class here at Journey called Rooted. And I got to make this for the leaders a few weeks ago. It received rave reviews. A couple little torn pieces of basil from our garden out back there. And if you want to top it off, now I am a little spicy. If you want just a little kick over the top, you can add a little crushed red bell pepper. That's up to you. All right, let me give me a bigger spatula here. Now we got the 3 little layers here. How pretty is that? Look at that. Cute, portion controlled, healthier than your regular pasta. Okay, let's give it a try here. Where's my little knife at? You're gonna get the wonton wrapper right at the edge, gives you just a little crunch. It's almost like when you bake the lasagna and then some people fight over the edges because the edges have a little crispier, and then some people want the middle because it's softer. So you get a little bit of both. And when I cut this open, look at that. All the cheeses just melt together. Ah, this is gonna be the perfect lunch or dinner. That makes me happy. I love lasagna. It's warm, the cheeses, you can taste all the seasonings. Perfect way. You serve this with a salad and with your watermelon pizza. I'm gonna pass some of these around. See, we get to sit here and eat after we do this. What we've been trying to do with these videos is to get you thinking about foods that are better for your body. When you're putting better stuff in you, you feel better. We're all here at church, so we try to do the things that prepare us spiritually and mentally, but we got to take care of the whole body, and that's taking care of our physical self as well. So tune in each month and we do a different recipe. We try to focus on things that help you mentally, help you physically, but we want you to always make food a part of your faith journey. So join us here in the chat. If you'd like us to pray for you, we'd love to pray with you and for you. So just drop us a line and we'll be sure to include you on our prayer list. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.